Welcome to New Edition of Thai Network News. My name is Shisaki Serio.
And I'm Mauricio Chavez. For the first time ever, we hosted a track meet on our new track. Let's go check it out.
Hey Tigers, my name is Brian Harrell. This week on Wednesday, Tranquility hosted a league championship track meet. It was the first time in a long time that the Tigers held a track meet. The first time on the new field. The Tigers' Bernice Diaz got second place in varsity girls discus, and Sergio Aguilar got sixth place in the varsity boys 100 meters. However, Kalinga dominated the meet, taking varsity girls championship and the varsity boys championship, as well as FroSoft champions. I'm Brian Harrell. Until next time, Tigers, stay hungry.
Mr. Sandoval had other speakers visit us, so we sent our reporters to go interview them.
I'm doing fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. All right, so first thing first, what inspired you to become a lawyer?
I grew up in San Antonio, and I was very fortunate to get selected to go to Stanford University. And my freshman and sophomore year, that's when there was a lot of activity on university campuses, again, regarding the war, the Vietnam War at the time, and also regarding African American and Latino rights, the Chicano movement. And from there, I saw that there was a lot of discrimination and that people were treated fairly in many ways, in many instances. And I decided that by being a lawyer, it would give me an opportunity to improve things for others. And so I said, being a lawyer will give me lots of flexibility, because I could be a lawyer representing defendants, or I could bring cases against institutions for discrimination, or I can do what I ended up doing, representing a local government and influencing them in that way, not as a policymaker, but guiding them in the right way so that they do the right thing.
Okay, and for being a Chicana, what was the biggest struggle growing up?
Well, growing up for us, for my family, it was the poverty that was tough, and from a personal standpoint, I think because I always did well, starting from first grade and through high school. Personally, I didn't experience the discrimination. The teachers tended to treat me better, and but then, I know my father would always talk about things that he experienced daily or growing up. And then, like I said, when I went to Stanford, then I started thinking about why things were the way they were, or why things weren't the way they should be. And I realized that a lot of it has to do with discrimination. And also, I didn't realize it at the time, but afterwards I realized that even though I had 4.0 and did well in everything, my counselors weren't inviting me to apply to the better universities, and some teacher, and it was just by luck that a recruiter from Stanford came to my high school, and I went to that meeting, and I learned that I could apply to other universities. And that's not to say that local and small universities are bad, but we should have that opportunity, and we should make that choice for ourselves, not have others make it for us. So it was there that I learned that these same opportunities weren't being given to me, and it was after the fact. But I realized that that's what's happening, and unfortunately sometimes it still happens.
Okay, and who is your motivation to this day? What motivates you to be a successful person?
My mom. My mother was Maria. My mom, from the beginning, she just always encouraged us to go to school. In her eyes, graduating from high school was such the ticket to success, because that's what she knew. And so, and part of it was also that 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 if I got educated, she would say, you don't have to rely on anybody. You can support yourself, and you can live your own life the way you want it. And she worked so hard the entire, her entire life. She died a couple of years ago, but she worked so hard, getting up at 5 in the morning, making food for everybody, doing all the work that needed to be done. And she loved going to open houses, like even starting in elementary. She loved going to open houses, and she didn't know English, but she would just nod, and she could tell when teachers were saying positive things, and she just relished in it. But she was just a very, very hard worker, and she did not complain about things. She just moved on, and she gave us so much love. She gave the family so much love, and there were times when, she would work and she would buy a mango or a piece of fruit, and I grew up with 3 sisters, and she would cut it up in 4 pieces so we could share it. And she was just so sharing and so loving, and such a hard worker.
All right, thank you so much, Isa. That's it for today, and I wish you the best for your success.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Tigers. I'm here with Osama. How are you doing today, Osa?
Good.
All right, thank you for coming out to visit.
Thank you.
So you're a doctor, right? So
Yes.
tell us what is it that you really do?
So, as a PhD, I do a lot of research. So my degree is based on research, and I get to do research on education, but I also have a research area and research interests in health disparities in Latino rural communities here in the Central Valley. Currently, I'm working with UC Merced and UCSF Fresno on several research projects, but also teaching at UC Merced.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your background. Where were you raised and born?
I was actually born in Michoacan, and then migrated here to the U.S. at the age of 8, and attended San Joaquin Elementary, and from there Tranquility High School, and then went on to UCLA and UC Davis.
Okay, and what college courses did you have to take, or what college do you attend, or?
Yeah, so at UCLA I majored in psychology with a minor in education, so I took all the general education courses at UCLA and the requirements for psychology and education. And then when I went on to do my PhD, I took a lot of research methods courses and education courses at UC Davis.
Okay, and what was your motivation?
My motivation was to come back to my community and make sure that there was more students like myself going on to higher education.
Okay, now what were your struggles growing up? What were your
I think a lot of the struggles was not knowing the path to college, not having somebody to guide me, and not being pushed enough, or not having individuals believe that I could do it.
All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much, Rosa, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Billy Montoya, and like you said, I'm an art director with Alfred Media in Fresno, California. Basically my job is Alfred Media is a company who sells ad space on billboards. So if you guys ever seen billboards, the artwork that goes on top of the billboards, I do that. So what our director does is they see the overall look and feel of the project. So the best way to explain it is if this was a rap video. If I was making a rap video, I'd be the person that's making sure that everybody's wearing the right clothes. There's somebody directing it, there's somebody holding the mics up, so I'm the person that's seeing the overall look of it. So when someone comes to me with a campaign or an ad, you leave it up to me to see the overall look of it, how it's gonna look, how it's gonna feel, who they're gonna target, and those sort of things.
Who brought you to the school? Who did you know to come to the school?
So I'm friends with Carol Kornisov, which is a teacher at Tranquility Elementary. We were on the HOA board together. So she's always heard me telling stories about what I do. She said it'd be awesome if you come and talk to the students. So here I am.
What made you get into art?
Well, I mean, just like all kids do. When I was younger, I drew, and like everybody has little brothers and sisters, they draw all the time. So I was a normal kid, drew all the time. I knew that I liked doing it. I knew that I was good at it because people would tell me. So it started off that way. Eventually, I ended up not wanting to do art, just wanting to look at art. And so most of my life before I became an artist, do what I do now, was just wanting to see it, look at it. I would look at books. You know, people go to the library, I'd go to the library and order and get 5, 10 art books, take them home, look at them all, take them back, get 5 more, just because I just wanted to look at it, you know. So early on in my life, I didn't think about being an artist. I didn't know I wanted to be an artist. All I know is that I like this stuff, you know. It's like these tacos that you can't stop eating, you know. You keep on every day after school, you gotta get another taco, another one. That's basically what it was. I just loved it. So, and it landed me here, you know. I was just following what I wanted to do. I ended up going to college. But even when in college, I didn't pursue art. You know, I had all different kind of roads I went to, and it wasn't until the end to where I had to actually gonna get kicked out of school when they were trying to make me find out what you wanted to do. And meanwhile, I was taking art classes the whole time of my life, but I just never put 2 and 2 together that it was. So it took a college counselor to finally get the epiphany to set in that they teach art next to science, next to history, next to all those important. So art is just as important, and those you should be pursuing it with that same kind of vigor.
Yeah.
So once that happened, then that's when I finally knew, okay, this is what I was meant to do. But that was until I was in my mid-20s.
Where did you go to college?
I went to college at Fresno. Well, I went to college at Reedy College in Reedy, California first for 2 years. Got my general stuff done there, and then went to Fresno State after that in 1998. That's how long ago it was when I started Fresno State.
There it is, Tigers. Now back.
Now time for sports. Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Hello, Tigers. This is Renee Louver reporting from Tiger Network News. This past Tuesday, April 24th, the Tranquility Tigers took down the Avenal Buccaneers. The score was 19-2. The Tigers won. Next game will be Friday night. Come out and support. First time the Tranquility Tigers will have a night game under the lights. Thank you, Tigers.
Well, I've checked everything I could think of right now, and I can't freaking figure out what's wrong with it. We're gonna have to call a tow truck.
We don't need a tow truck. I know a guy. Let me call him. Let's call Mr. I'm already here!
Mr. Moss!
I got this!
Wait, Moss, how did we get here?
Well, through the magic of video editing.
A veces la vida nos presenta desafíos. Es bueno tener una comunidad de apoyo contigo. Tranquility Good Neighborhood Garage ahora se estableció para proporcionar mantenimiento automotriz sin costo para respaldar el transporte confiable para miembros de la familia o veteranos en áreas rurales que deben viajar para recibir atención por enfermedades a largo plazo u otros desafíos de recuperación de la salud. Si existiera una pregunta, pueden ver Señor Más. El programa es apoyado gracias a las donaciones. Por favor, ve a la señora Sandoval si desea hacer una donación. Gracias.
Oh, let's go.
Until next time, Tigers. I'm Chisaki Terio.
And I'm Marcel Chavez.
Stay hungry.